Attenzione! Quello è un soldato nemico! Ricognitore! That's first aid for you. Come on, let's go. That's great. Ta. Slinging grenade! That's first aid for you. Enemy medic sighted. To patch you up. Take down first aid. Spotted a scout!
losing objective Charlie.
Take the ammo. Grenade going out. First aid, take it. Use that first aid.
We have lost objective Edward.
First aid, get passed up. Your wounds, I can fix them. First aid, use it. First aid, get
We have
passed up.
taken objective Apples. We have taken objective Edward.
There's some first aid.
We have taken objective Edward.
There's some first aid.
We have taken objective Edward.
Here, first aid. Take that first aid. Tank spotted. Stay alert.
We have lost objective Apples.
Here, first aid. Take that first aid. Tank spotted. Stay alert.
We have lost objective Apples.
Here, first aid. There's some first aid.
We are losing objective Duff.
You see, there, medic. First aid for it. Let me patch your wounds. For you, first aid. Here, first aid. There, first aid for you. Headshot, grenade out. First aid, use it. I'll fix those wounds. First aid for you.
You can use this to fix yourself up.
First aid, take it.
We are losing objective Charlie.
Use that first aid. There, first aid. Thanks for that.
We have lost objective Charlie.
One of our objectives! It's been seized, lads!
First aid, use it. There, first aid.
This also happens to be a mic test. Does anyone hear my voice?
First aid, get packed up. Take that first aid.
Uh-oh. Does anyone on my squad hear this voice? Maybe the mic was turned down a little. Does anyone hear this voice?
First aid for.
Well, I know the live stream is getting me, but right now I'm tweaking my microphone to also pick me up on VoIP from Battlefield, and I believe that
This is first aid.
anyone in the local vicinity probably hears the voice as well. Does anyone hear this voice?
First aid for you. Here, first aid.
Halfway there, we have the upper hand.
Well, it's looking like I'm not getting any response. Let's try again here. Breaker, breaker, this is Jiggly. This is the last call. Does anyone hear this voice? Just please give me a text shout out if you do.
We have lost objective Charlie.
It's looking like I'm not getting any response. Let's try again here. Breaker, breaker, this is Jiggly. This is the last call. Does anyone hear this voice? Just please give me a text shout out if you do.
That's first aid for you.
A flame trooper kit is available near your location.
For you, first aid. There, first aid. First aid, use it.
Thanks, dude. Appreciate it.
Do you want me to patch your wounds? Use that first aid.
The Howell automatic rifle It's pretty much this gas-powered, just beast of a machine. Saw it on Forgotten Weapons. Tell your friends about it. Amazing rifle. I mean, the thing, once you just line it up center mass with somebody and you just keep clicking, it's basically a shotgun in rifle form. It's pretty amazing. I can't say enough good about this thing. Maybe the Fedorov is a more acceptable weapon because of that high rate of fire, but I mean the power of the Howl automatic rifle, baby. Give it that that AA sight, and there you go. You're set.
There's some first aid.
Well, it's looking like there probably also no music this stream, being that the algorithm that YouTube keeps kicking me off of it doesn't like the sounds. It kicks up the copyright engine, and you know, it was more an experiment. I play a lot of the stuff that I own, and I understand now that hey, if I'm going to stream and stream comfortably online, you know, I can basically just figure it out and see what's acceptable. You know. I do have a lot of fun playing the game. I have a bit more with the excitement, the full experience. But hey, I can put it all on hold and do my best to bring the best quality gameplay to the internet. So that's pretty much what this is about. This is Jiggly. He's just bringing you some of the finest gaming moments that he can muster at this time, playing some of the most latest games, and I've really got them all, actually. I've got dozens of PC games, old, new. I've got ROMs, emulators, of which I don't claim credit to own, nor would I make money off of, but walkthroughs, playthroughs, and just show you guys. I'd show you some of the finest games that I've ever played in my life, and I think that the internet audience would really enjoy some of these old titles. But for now, hey, let's get treated to some new-ass Battlefield. Alright.
For you, first aid. That's first aid for you. First aid for you.
We are losing objective Charlie.
So, oh boy, as you can see, the train is also on the map, which means that thing's probably laying down a withering hail of suppression on anybody that's trying to cross sea. Nice. Nicely done, sir. That flamer is going to help me a lot. And basically, cleaning out that bridge or that train is exactly what we need to do. This is not going to be a gentle operation.
Enemy medic here.
We're coming in for a melee attack. I don't trust anyone. I'm surrounded by enemies here. Look at that. Trap. Yep. And there you go. Well, that's the best way to deal with an elite. Flamer's not exactly the best for those kinds of situations, being that it's a bit slow and it doesn't kill them right away. But, you know, you pays your money, you takes your chances. It's all fair in level 1, I suppose. There's a lot of medics. There's a lot of medics. I'll save you. Oh, it's that guy who says he's a hacker, but I don't think he is. Dang. Oh, that's too bad. No, oh, I tried to get in for the melee. It's, with many weapons in this game, there's like many challenges and awards that you can get if you like use particular weapons and you get a particular like allotted amount of kills. You start to unlock more like codexes and things and just I think new upgrades, weapons, all kinds of neat stuff.
First aid, take it. There, first aid. Enemy tank over there. First aid, use it. First aid, take it. Use that first aid.
Just playing around with some NVIDIA graphics options there. I noticed that Battlefield 5 especially isn't exactly optimized for NVIDIA. It's been a bit of a challenge to find a stable build to even be able to bring the game live stream to the web for myself. It's just, you know, it's a bit of tinkering and tailoring the PC so that I can keep it at an optimal temperature, basically, so that I can bring like long-term gameplay, at least a few hours, if the most maybe 4 or 5 hours of steady, good stream gameplay. That's kind of the goal here that I'm trying to get. And oh boy, no, I didn't mean to get the mask, but I'll survive instead. For now, it's not going to be easy. Alright, I'm expecting a massive ambush. Careful, funny old man. 64. I like your idea. Dang. Alright, a little bit of graphics tailoring at the moment. Let's just see, let's see what sees what we sees. I've got a bit more tweaking to do. Really, it's all about just getting the maximum quality with the best frame rate, all available, all neatly just bundled together. And you know what? It's going to take a little bit of, tinkering. The V-Sync's looking good. The frames aren't exactly 60, and also there's a frame rate limiter that seems to just want to work when it wants to work. Oh, and there's also this. So the resolution scale was actually a little bit higher. Okay. Let's actually boost it. That might have helped, actually.
Yes,
Sentry
first
is
aid.
available near your location.
Are you hurt? I'll patch you up.
Like, I noticed that on the contrast of a lot of things, that I'm just getting black. I'm just seeing a lot of black, which it could be the game. It's that their color textures are just generally like there's little contrast. There's only basically a few shades of black, and then it just goes to like total contrast. It's just something that I've played a lot of video games and paid a lot of attention to the graphics, the way that things look, and like for example, War Thunder has a lot of different shades of shadow, and its SSAO is actually pretty sophisticated, being that even though it's a free game, it does require quite a bit of computing power I'd even say the battlefield here is a little bit less than that in some respects. In a lot of respects. There's a lot of trees in War Thunder. Staying alive is the name of the game, lads. Just stay alive. Mortars. That's airburst. It could also be that I'm borderless and let's seize what we seize. Also, the resolution scale's a little bit high. It's a little bit higher than normal. And hey, you know what? Because we're streaming, let's bump it actually down a little bit. Let's bump that down to 100. It's still okay. This game looks incredible with no help at all. If anything, I'm trying to get those smooth frames. I got my network sharing on. My network sharing information smoothing. It's network sharing smoothing.
First aid forward.
I'm still quite a noob to this game, even though I'm like, what, rank 88? There you go. It's quite a bit of, and I think it's only a few hundred hours. It's just that good of a game, you know? I'll have a seat right here on the bench. Just think about things. Whoa. Yep. So, the textures actually look better when they're not super sampled. At least through the graphics of the, like it looks just, gun looks kind of, the wood grain looks alright. Oh boy, he brought a friend.
We are losing objective Freddy.
Ah yes, the Hell Regal. Not very commonly found gun. Hey, GG's lads, GG's. I'm still working on a camera, by the way. Not exactly an easy endeavor at the moment. I've got some older hardware that might be able to get a picture up. But I'd also just like to keep it like about the games. I don't mind getting my voice out here. I got this beautiful microphone at which to do so. And, you know, anyone watching, just thanks for stopping by. It's pretty much just game morning here while I wear off a bit of jet lag. Let's see what next map is. Ooh, can't wait, can't wait. So Argonne it is. Predictions? It's going to be assaulters, going to be storming the alleyways. We'll probably see some brutal cutthroat battles at D and C, back and forth. I noticed that somebody definitely liked the mortars, so I'd imagine about 4 of them on barrage, plus gas grenades and smoke. This could be an interesting battle. Alright guys, let's see how it goes.
Erste Hilfe, nimm schon!
By the way, switching from full screen from borderless to full screen has really actually lowered the temperature considerably on the CPU, so that's always a good thing. That just allows me to get these games out faster and more and better. So yeah. All right, guys.
Erste Hilfe, greif zu!
We have taken objective Duff.
Braucht jemand Erste Hilfe? Erste Hilfe, greif zu, Mann! Seht ihr ihn? Sturmsoldat! Sturmsoldat! Behaltet ihn im Auge! Seht ihr den? Sturmsoldat! Trag deine Wunden. Los, los!
That last shot wasn't intentional. I was trying to get off the stickiness of that gun there when I realized that those guys were dying probably from mortars. And this does not look good for our team. If we don't break the camp early on Argonne, it usually turns into a bloodbath. And how you break a camp, if you ever find yourself in this situation where your team isn't exactly, they're trying their best, is where it really comes down to. And there's a lot of action at these points. It's very cutthroat battles. The flank attack, the value of what this accomplishes, effectively pulls a whole team away from objective, or at least diverts a portion of them. I mean, that guy basically, he had to remain busy down here instead of at the front. So flanking, it's like a football game, and you're opening up gaps for other runners. So I mean, these tactics, especially in the layout of this battle, where it's not exactly a complete 360 environment, it's very much more like a park, like a paintball park. So there's only so many places you can go before the game just doesn't let you. That being said, team tactics and survival, especially in this map, it's a map that will test your qualities of it again and again, and it's good for that reason, because it only makes you faster and definitely more pliable, more survivable in all these situations. Most of the stuff that you see that I'm doing right now, it's just automatic. I've died so many times in this game that I just died so many bloody times from some savage attacks that you just only become better. And you become better by realizing that the situation is so chaotic, especially in a World War I environment, which is to say that any weapon could be used, like from explosives to gas, a horse, there's tanks, there's planes, there's everything. You get pretty good with just being independent. That's why I kind of always rely on the medic class usually. It's probably the finest independent class and a team lead class, like a squad lead class, in this game. Obviously for the ability to revive your teammates like a necromancer, but you get a good selection of weapons and you stay alive the longest yourself. So I think I've done enough ranting. Let's just play some games.
Für dich, Kamerad. Erste Hilfe. Braucht jemand Erste Hilfe?
They're being very cautious. That's very smart of them.
Hier, Erste Hilfe. Ich brauche Munition, schnell. Aufmachen, ich krieg dich wieder hin!
See, my team's struggling quite a bit on this map. Their team has lots of runners who seem to really take a penchant for going for the back camp. If your team is unorganized, this is a very cheap and effective way to keep you scattered and disorganized throughout the whole of the map. If only one person were to continually do it, it effectively distracts probably about 10 people on average. And I mean, these are the kinds of things that people can think of in a wartime scenario that could effectively aid or even help the enemy just by simple logic. Like what you do with your time as a player could, if you hold the bomb, so to speak, or some kind of like highly valuable piece of item, you could take the whole team for a ride. And it's pretty cool, actually. It's really exhilarating when they're all trying to kill you. It's just like the movies. But you know what? This is still a game with real people. And the more and more you play with the real people who play this game, they certainly teach you a lot. And it's just great fun. I hope that you guys enjoy it as much as I do.
Für dich, Kamerad. Erste Hilfe.
I knew he was there, but I took my chance, figuring I might be able to make a quick run with a rifle. It was a shotgun. You don't really generally run away from shotguns.
Erste Hilfe. Ich hoffe, das Zeug nützt was. Hier, erste Hilfe für dich! Hier, Mann, erste Hilfe. Erste Hilfe, greif zu, Mann! Ich sehe mir die Wunde mal an. Erste Hilfe, nimm schon! Ich krieg dich wieder hin. Hier, erste Hilfe.
So you take the back camp, and now their whole team's basically ready to come kill you. What kind of options do you get? Not many. Prepare for counterattack. This is the only kind of acceptable conclusion, is that you're going to basically die, and you're going to take a lot of them with you. But in the meantime, the whole plan is that your teammates on the front at E are getting a break. And it doesn't even look like their team is quite aware of the situation. Okay, they're slowly waking up to it. Wow, that guy was on a rampage. Alright, good stuff, good stuff. He nearly got me, I think. If he just reloaded, he probably would have quick shot me. He just seemed to be in that battle mode. Alright, so objectively speaking, here are the guys on the up and up. Yeah, we're doing okay, we're doing okay. This won't last long. Close the door just to cause a little bit of irritation. Just minor irritation for the lips and eyes. Here he comes.
We are losing objective Mother.
I got my sharpening up maximum. The door does look kind of weird.
Soll ich keine Wunden versorgen?
Ow.
We have lost objective apples.
Got them up. Okay, let's stay alive. Oh, they're here with their SMG 08s again. I guess it's better than a Lewis. Alright, I'll stop talking.
We have lost objective Butter. Halfway there, the enemy has the upper hand.
You know, the biggest complaint I have about a team, if you were ever to look, there's no point in blaming teams. You're on the same team, everyone's a part of it, we're all trying our best. I mean, everyone's just got a different skill level. You know, it is what it is, and it's still just a game, even though it's far more competitive to people who obviously want to win and get the points and all that stuff. And then there's other players who are just like casual, they're just chill. I get it, that's cool, we need them both. However, when people play in the battle and they're pretty versed and they're comfortable, but they give up because it's not looking good, statistically speaking, they look at the points and they're like, oh no, we don't have the objective lead, and it's like playing poker. They already know the rivers, they don't need the river, they've already lost hope. And it's my biggest complaint, really, if there was ever to complain about anything, is to never give up hope. Always keep fighting and stay as dogged in your defensive position as possible, especially when you're overrun. Survival is the name of the game, and the longer that they chase you is the longer that someone on your team gets a little breather and the ability to come back and help you and save you. So, I mean, these are all basically real-world tactics. It's in a video game, sure, it's in a fishbowl, yeah, but it's with other real people, you know, it's like Powerball. So there's a lot of human-on-human tactics that you know, you can really outsmart a lot of your opponents in many situations with just like very casual, common knowledge thinking that sometimes isn't even violent. You know, you don't need to engage anybody. You just have to just get away or plant a trap, and you can do all of that in battle. All right. All right, I'm sorry. Yeah, I mean, all right, I'll stop talking, but if for anyone listening, I appreciate you listening to me. I just don't want it to feel like I don't appreciate you. I guess my tone could be kind of just a little dismissive. And to hear myself through this channel, through this outlet, it's a bit awakening too. The way I word myself is sometimes just a bit too dank. But I really do, I appreciate everyone checking out the channel. Right here, this is just about showcasing the game with my video card and my computer. I mean, it's kind of, I love this actually. I love showing you guys this stuff. And I'm just grateful that I've got a place to bring an audience. It's pretty cool. YouTube, D-Live, Twitch, whatever, it's all the same. They've all got their stipulations. But I can play ball, you know? It's not about keeping the stream advertiser friendly as it is keeping it up and online and still going. I've said too much probably. Look at all these guys. Holy, I gotta go.
We are losing objective Duff. We have taken objective Charlie.
Hier, Mann, Erste Hilfe. Erste Hilfe, nimm schon!
Herzlichen Dank.
Aufpassen, Granate raus! SMG gesichtet. Das ist ein feindlicher Sturmsoldat.
Don't forget to spot for your teammates.
A flame trooper kit is available near your location.
Erste Hilfe, nimm schon. Hier, Erste Hilfe.
Danke.
Hier, Erste Hilfe. Ich versorge deine Wunden. Granate ist raus, Köpfe runter. Bist du verletzt? Braucht jemand Erste Hilfe? Ich sehe mir die Wunde mal an. Du bist verletzt, du siehst. Erste Hilfe, greif zu!
We are losing objective Charlie.
Hier, Erste Hilfe! Feindlicher Sturmsoldat, seid vorsichtig! Ich helfe dir! Ich sehe mir die Wunde an. Kann ich mir die Wunde mal ansehen? Hier! Erste Hilfe für dich! Soll ich deine Wunden versorgen? Vorsicht, ich werfe Granate! Bist du verletzt? Hier, Erste Hilfe.
Like, this is a really good example of what I mean. The game, I mean, I don't know. That doesn't exactly look realistic to me. It's just so much contrast. And I'm like in daytime in the forest. It just feels so not right. So let's turn up the brightness a little bit. No, it's still like, okay, so it's like it's post-processing effect of some kind. Okay, I suppose that's a bit more too realistic, right? You can see the shadows of the trees and stuff. No. Okay, turn up the brightness. Well, there you go, right? Like that's. I'm in the day. Take it back down to 85. It's almost a bit too much now. Alright, well, let's rock it. SMG-08ers. It's more than just a gun in this game. It's kind of like a tactic. Obviously, just spray and pray. But more than that, it's actually a great gun. It's got like 80 rounds. You can't exactly full auto it without overheating. So you have to do concentrated bursts. And short range, it's always a winner. It's a great gun to practice with and learn with to play the game. SMG-08. My favorite's more the Howl because of the medic class. As you can see, I do quite well. But yeah, that's the assault. That gun is part of the assault class, so definitely something to experience.
Hier, erste Hilfe. Ich sehe mir die Wunde mal an. Ich schick dir eine Granate. Du kriegst dich wieder hin.
We are losing objective Duff.
Kannst dich wieder zusammenfinden? Wir sind eure Erste. Erste Hilfe.
I'm whistling through the mask. That's a very Jiggly thing to do. You know, because he's like doesn't want to die. Good game, guys.
Aha, sıhhi yardım çantası. Çok sağ ol.
We have taken objective George. We have taken objective Duff.
Hey, pardon me. I'm tweaking the settings and it freezes the game ever so slightly. My apologies. It's for the best. Yeah, I just don't like the way that the look of those textures. It looks off. Everything looks a little bit brightened, a little bit like retextured in a way, almost like a post-processing. So I'm gonna see what I can do to see if I can fix that. I think it was something to do with the field of view. All right, let's see how this looks.
Senin için sıhhi yardım çantası.
We have taken objective butter.
Sıhhi yardım çantası. Tedavi ol.
Now, as a medic, the frontline role isn't where you always need to be. In fact, there's a few specializations, I believe, where you can start to differentiate between a field medic and a combat medic and all that stuff. Being a support with a medic is just as vital for rangers, for assault, for elites. You are the lifeline of any squad action. So the medic class is by far and away, in my opinion, the greatest lead class out of all of the classes. Because I mean, look, I'm not even firing a shot, and with enough, because I know the enemy is in this general direction, I can scout most of the enemy quite easily, being very effective for my team and like a super awesome squad mate. This guy is putting down all kinds of suppression fire, stopping that boat, those infantry, everybody really, from doing heavy damage. So, I mean, it's definitely a combined effort in all battlefield, and I'm pretty sure he's very appreciative anyway, so it's a good way to make friends.
Şu sıhhi yardım çantasını kullan. Düşman askeri görüldü. Dikkat eyleyin. Şu onların askerlerinden biri. Bir tank görüyorum. Bir düşman askerine doğru bakıyorum. Hasım askeri o tarafta.
We are losing objective Freddy.
Onu gördünüz mü? Onların askerlerinden biri. Düşman tankı görüldü. Düşman süvarisi tespit edildi. Düşman tankı orada.
So as you can see, my little secret here is, you know, with the huge blast shield of an artillery piece, you can easily scout the enemy from a fortified position. This is an optimal base of operations, it being that it's got one of the big guns. So, I mean, it's a little bit hard, but I can totally aim at that cluster of troops and get a lot of suppression kills. I'm refraining because I'm observing the score, and it's my opinion, this is really just overkill. And I mean, I see a lot of scouts on their team by their emblems, so I'm making a tactical decision to ease off. I don't need to pummel them. There's almost no point. It's just gratuitous. I would rather they push an objective and then really cause an actual threat to the team. But right now my team's actually not in threat. We're in optimal position. So I refrain from, and besides, but by shooting you actually increase your rapport. Your rapport is the noise and the sound and the bravado of everything that you do in the opponent's eyes. So I'm just a silent guy with a gigantic shield scouting everything. So I mean, I don't mind. If they don't mind, I don't mind. All right.
Hava müdafaa bataryası gördüm. Aha! Düşman tayyaresi! Düşman tayyaresi! Tam yukarıda!
An enemy dreadnought is on route.
Yaralarını tedavi etmemi ister misin? Düşman tayyaresi!
going a little bit easy on these guys because, you know, everyone here is a good gamer, and you know, I actually it's almost too much work to really try and actually defeat an opponent when they're in good game fashion. So if you can spook them off and they just go and recharge, you know, they're spending time doing that. You can recuperate. It's kind of a win-win. So I mean, you know, this is the posture I take. I actually choose my tactics as I play, and it develops in real time. Now that the Dreadnought's here, the problem really is his positioning. If he stays all the way out there, there's nothing I can really do, and it's just impossible to shoot him. So I don't know why they single me out, but I guess I'm priority target. Oh, I'm lucky. And there could be more, so I'm gonna go head back. Yep. Yep. I wasn't so lucky after all. They really... Alright, well, I'm complimented. They like went all out on me. However, they're still not done, which means that they're at G trying to make a serious rear attack. I say let him have it. Or F, I mean.
Halfway there, we have the upper hand.
I can barely see with the contrast of the game. It's okay. You know, actually, I've worked on a vessel. I worked on a boat similar to this in real life. And I can tell you there have been a lot of weather situations where this is better than the visibility that you actually have. There's more saturation of white. And if you can imagine, men and women, they work in that every day in these conditions exactly like this, if not worse. If not worse. And this is exactly as real as it gets. You know, you can hit a log jam, you can hit a sandbar, going effectively 20 knots or more, 30 knots. If you were really hauling, and with less visibility, he would have popped out probably 5 feet away from you before you even knew he was there. Let's get him.
Düşman gözcüsü görüldü.
Look, he's there. You missed him. Two of them, I believe, made it up the beach, which means they got squad support, more than likely, like they're members of squads, spawning guys in. So it's kind of a Battlefield thing, Battlefield 1 and 5. If one of the squad survives, expect 4. It's a neat function. It creates an element of like flank and dynamic change in battle, where you can't just assume that just because one guy made it in, that he's not going to be fully fortified and defended in there with friends. So it's cool. It's something to get used to, though. Don't assume that just because one guy made it in, that he's not going to come back out with 4 friends. It's generally, that's how it works. It's just how it works. It's Battlefield, baby. It's Battlefield. I love this game.
Yaralarını tedavi edebilir.
We have lost objective Freddy.
Yaralısın. Yardım edebilirim. Sıhhi yardım çantası. Tedavi ol. Hedefi mükafaa edin. Aha, sana bir sıhhi yardım çantası. Aha, sana bir sıhhi yardım çantası.
What we're seeing here with the fog is purely a sniper duel. Everyone who can shoot at you can see you well beyond the range that I can see them. So that's always good.
We have lost objective.
Basically, I play to the class as well, and to objective as much as I can. And that's how you win Battlefield. It isn't a game about kills. It isn't Call of Duty like that, where it's a game to compete for the highest performing player in that sense. Although you can. This is a game of wartime tactics and strategy, which requires all aspects effectively, and a combination of team effort, plus individual, more important than speed, Okay, and speed is basically the next most important thing, but more important than speed in this, in any battle, is your ingenuity. How well anyone is able to adapt in any battle situation effectively decides who survives and who doesn't. And as a team lead or a squad leader, you make or break games this way. Battles are effectively won by just 2 or 3 players who are working hard. And it's just, I've seen it time and time again. I know that most people won't even admit it because, you know, there's a lot of team complainers and things. But the seasoned Battlefield players understand that it really comes down to just clutch decisions, tricky little maneuvers, and then the rest is just Battlefield. It's just history. Oh boy, this doesn't look good. And also notice that my friend is in elite class, which usually gets him heavily. Oh, I brought him up in a bad situation. They get more armor and better weapons and stuff, so that's always good. Yeah, we didn't even let him take F. There was just... Alright, I'm gonna keep playing, guys.
Objective butter.
Aha! Sıhhi yardım çantası. Sıhhi yardım çantası. Tedavi ol. Aha! Sana bir sıhhi yardım çantası.
Perfect place as a medic to camp. If you were able to play a camping role with a medic, just helping a sniper, you're helping an artilleryman, and another medic. These guys I mean, no one's hurting you. And look at this, AA too. Perfect. I mean, it just doesn't get any better. And I mean, the enemy has to now focus their artillery, their attention, their snipers. Who knows how many are actually looking at it? It's probably all of them at this point, thinking that we're 30 when we're actually about 5, or probably 8. Not bad though. It's a game of numbers. War is won by the numbers. And I mean, in these situations, we didn't effectively have B-17s and B-25s dropping or just pocket loads of bombs on the enemy. We had to use, you know, just the same weapons that the enemy had. It was a war of attrition. Anyone's game and skill and tactics and stuff generally just doesn't even matter compared to the randomness of war. The total randomness and the survivability of people in war. A survival above all elements, actually, in warfare, and the survival of your teammates. These characteristics are paramount for a medic. They are paramount in real life. Having your teammates survive effectively any combat situation is the golden rule of combat. That is Jiggly approved. And the medic helps you do that. Anyway, I keep going. I love you guys. I'm going to sign out for a bit. I'm going to keep playing. I'm just going to stop talking. All right.
Sıhhi yardım çantası. Al bunu.
We are losing objective butter.
This one's almost over. Only means good things. Let's go help our bomber crew.
We have lost objective butter.
Drop a little pineapple punch surprise down below. I'm surprised this guy can even see anything. Well, we'll probably be in the drink in about 2 seconds anyway. It's okay, I brought my swimming hat. Here we go, we're going in. By the way, when you're in the back seat of the bomber, all your stuff reloads faster. Oh no! He's dropping all these supplies everywhere. Oh! And I do believe your crew gets assists when you do kills. Nice. Nice. Oh, nice. He's also using the bomber as a paraglider, which is absolutely perfect. Makes these things, these craft, well-suited battle machines. Well-suited. They're not exactly durable, though. They can be shot down by hand weapons. Let's just say they put it at that. I've taken one out with a pistol, I think. If someone hasn't taken it out with a... Oh god, that's loud. No! I just heard myself through the thing, and that was really loud. That was... Let's go ASMR.
We have lost objective George.
Like I was saying, that these craft, the worst weapon that can be deployed, in my opinion, against a bomber, besides a really good pilot, the AA guns, 2 of them on you, you're dead. You might as well just bail out. It's not going to get any better. It's just a foregone conclusion. You're still just balsa wood and paper, basically. So, I mean, it's a marvel that they even throw something into a battle situation, but there you go. Oh, it's good to follow the elite. They always need the help. They're famous. Alright, GG's.
Watch it! Off we go! Fast enough. Gallop! There! Jump on!
Alright. This map. The bread bowl, or just the bread loaf. I mean, it's just one long line with a train running through it. Battle is pretty much at sea, or not at all. I mean, if you can hold this base, then the opportunity to back cap is there. It's just highly unlikely. Oh boy, fucking, pardon my language, pardon me, pard. It's the Land Raider! Oh boy. I don't really like the spear, it looks kind of silly. But it's powerful, yes, it's powerful. Do I like this saber? Do I like this, the spear more than the cavalry sword? No. No, I don't. But this but the spear gives you the ability to charge as well. I don't know if the sword does. The sword is great for a lot of other things, which I'll show you later. First and foremost, as a force rider, you have the ability to drop ammo and health. You can effectively... Oh boy, there I go. Well, I didn't save myself, but you can save any infantryman on the battlefield by being fast. You can save lots of dudes situations. Too bad you couldn't even just drop like some kind of way to help a tank or something. I find the horse rider is like easily the most pliable infantryman. Even though he's a horse rider, you're still an infantryman, basically, with better supply options. He's the most pliable. You can get yourself into and out of practically every situation, and if you're a medic on a horse, that's where the magic happens. It's a lot of fun. It's a lot of fun, man. It's honestly, in my opinion, the cream of the crop of Battlefield 1 is to be a medic horse rider. It's so cool. You're just a badass. You're a friggin' badass. And anyway, on this map, as you can see, it's not very much thinking. It's just a battle line drawn, and here we go. It's very static. There isn't a lot of wiggle room, even though the red team's doing quite well on us right now. They're actually kicking their butt a little bit. Oh, I'm gonna die. If I got 2 guys up, it would have made it worth it. Or I should have just started shooting. That's my problem, really, is that I'm not too aggressive enough, and in a lot of situations I could probably kill my way out of a lot of the nastiness, and I usually elect to not unless they fire upon me. It's like a stealth mechanic. I always, if I obey by the stealth mechanic, you wouldn't believe where I can get in and out. And in Battlefield 5, whoa man, I mean, I've heard of ninjas, but then there's Jiggly on the medic, and if I'm going in to save a life, it's just like I got the advantage, really, because I see their template, like where they are on the map, and I'm just smoking everybody out, already planned where I'm going. And I mean, they have no idea what the heck's happening. They just see this blur, this little blur going and saving people. So the medic class, again, in Battlefield is so powerful, really. Too powerful with the way that you can resurrect and keep alive. Oh god. However, they did offset that with a lot of the armor. You can see that the options, there's a lot of quick instant kills. You're not exactly immune to dying. And yeah, it's just a lot of fun. I really enjoy the medic class a lot, as I think you all can tell. I was just being silly there. I was gonna die anyway, so I tried to go out gloriously with a saber kill. They weren't having any of it, and why I got off my horse there was like I'm trying to be descriptive of what I'm doing, as to help newer players who feel very intimidated by the game. It's a war scenario. War is very offensive to the senses naturally. If it's not, you might not be living in the right place. But I suppose that's a subjective idea. I just feel like living next to where the bombs are going off is not always good, and you gotta get the hell away. I think most humans on the planet Earth agree that's not good, right? So anyway, even simulated, and this game does a really good job at suppressing you with the effect of war, with the suppression of bullets, the kicking of dirt and mud in your face, explosions, bits of wood, people dying, screaming. It's horrible. They're burning. Sometimes they're suffocating from gas. It's awful. I could actually tell you the first time playing this game was an experience like no other. They did a very, very excellent job in making me feel like I was actually in the war, and to try my best to survive. To not treat it like a game, treat it more like a movie, or rather like you're actually in a war. And Battlefield 5, I find, they didn't exactly capture the way that Battlefield 1 made me feel. And that's just from first impressions. If anyone who's never played this game before, I highly recommend trying it, and if it does make you feel a little funny, you're not alone. You are definitely not alone. They put in a really quality effect in making the game feel real. And it's just so many different little ways. in so many different little ways. You'll be like left shell-shocked in a corner, and you'll have no idea what's going on. It's normal. It's perfectly normal. It's Battlefield, man. So it takes a lot of time and practice to get to where I am. And then it becomes automatic. Well, I wouldn't even say automatic. It's that the battle is truly in my head. I'm trying to think about what to do, how to beat them. I'm watching my teammates as they're going in. Everything in the battle that's on my team is an asset to me. And I hope that my teammates agree. Like, that's how they're thinking too. I can understand it's difficult when they're focused on the sniper roles and stuff, but they're still scouting. And like this guy, he had the periscope. He's using a trench periscope, which is great because he's showing a lot of people detailed information. It's a bad situation, I know, but learning how to break the camp is Battlefield. That's how you play Battlefield. You gotta learn to break the camp. It's not always fun, but I remember a lot of other Battlefields where it used to be far, far worse. Oh, I ran out of gas grenades because I threw it early. Gas grenade would have been perfect in that situation. He would have had to put on a mask in the vital second I would have been able to bring up a friend. So that's why I'm always rocking those guys too. But yeah, it basically in this mode we're already lost. Like, we can't break the camp. If we can't break the camp, then it's just a slow and agonizing death until the end. We don't need to take it laying down. If anything, it's a great time to find a truck and go for a flank, because then you're pulling about 30 people away from the objective. And this guy on the mortar kind of knows what's up too. He's actually helping out way more than people would give him credit. And the snipers are the pain in the ass because they're not pushing objective, they're just taking pot shots and dying, feeding the enemy team points. I need medics and I need assault class. If I were general and I could control everyone from a button, it would be probably about at least on average 55 to 40, well 50 to 50, 65% assault. Because of the damage output. The damage output of the assault class with anti-tank grenades and your explosive packs, or an anti-tank rocket, which is just as good. Like he's rocking an anti-tank rocket. Oh no, Marguerite, no, he's an ammo guy. You can do heavy damage to buildings, structures. Oh, he got me. God. Oh, I'm sorry. Are you alive? Yeah, they're killing it. But the assault, if you basically got 2 seconds to live, or less, or more, the assault class can kill as many people as possible at the fastest. And then that's generally, as a medic, what I love to see. I gotta get in there and do something.
Train has arrived.
Oh, if I'm driving, you guys are in trouble. You guys are in trouble. Because this thing has an excellent artillery cannon. And I am a good spot.
An enemy soldier! Enemy tank!
Oh, they won't let me go all the way back, eh? Okay. That's alright. So, in the luxury of the behemoth spot, you have to basically be good with spotting and knowing how to command a squad. Speaking of which. And also listening to your team. I mean, if you got 4 guys who want to go to Objective D and just camp, just go to Objective D and camp. Like, they'll be happy, they're going to get good kills. It's all about just making it easy for everyone. And hey, if they can start getting the enemy out of these objectives, then you're winning the game too, right? But as the train conductor, yeah, you got this luxury spot of all this protection. Use it to the fullest maximum to punish the enemy every inch of the way. I'm giving my team the opportunity to breathe, recuperate, and actually make a game out of the battle. It's not easy to wait patiently for these kinds of minutes. I know a seasoned Battlefield player understands that you just have to be patient, and there'll be a crack in the armor, and you take the crack. You ride it, and you do as much pain and inflict as much time lost and difficulty and disarray on the enemy, because they're actually not as unified as they were when they were just laying in a line shooting you. It's very much 17th century warfare, in fact, just with better weapons. It really is. It's just the same thing. It's just with better weapons. So it's very ebb and flow. There's a logic system to it in World War I. It's deadly, though. It's extremely deadly, and the situations can change so rapidly that it's... Okay, who's getting me? It's this guy. I got him. That mortar is, I think, the heaviest mortar in the game.
You see there, the scout. Enemy machine gun, sighted.
It's almost too bad there's no peek out button. Like a lean out. Now I'm going to back up the train. Because I come too close to the artillery guns. And I actually want to keep the train alive as long as possible. To be as annoying as possible. Also give my guns a chance to recoup and recover and shoot some infantry targets.
Enemy soldier sighted.
Look at how many of them are punched out. Oh, I think my friend's gonna enjoy that one.
I'm looking right at an enemy soldier. Watch out, soldier! Spotted a soldier. You see him? One of their
All you
soldiers.
need to do is just spot for your friendlies. They've got excellent guns.
Looking right at an enemy soldier.
So let's get that AA gun a little bit closer too. I notice this is the short bus, the short train. Pardon my expressions. I don't mean to offend anyone. There is a longer train, is what I mean. That was entirely my fault, but I'm sorry. A longer train, I think, as the AA cannon, because there's no planes on this map. I think it would make sense that there is no AA boost, caboose. So, oh, and there's also a tank on the track. Look at how many infantry. You see now they're starting to buckle quite severely because of me, because the train is now here. They had to change their tactics, and it turns out they didn't actually have that good a strategy. So, I mean, you learn these things as an experienced Battlefield player, that it's just, all you gotta do is wait for a break in the armor, and you'd be so amazed how quickly the battle can change. So, I mean, always keep your hopes up, your spirits up, come to Pitch Silence. Watch Pitch Silence's channel, it's just this guy on the internet, just this guy, and maybe learn something about Battlefield, or perhaps enjoy it yourself. I think we could always enjoy more meat. I mean, more players.
Enemy cavalry!
I think I'm running over a horse.
You see him, the shock trooper. Enemy horse rider. You see him?
I'm really laying down the heavy artillery. I'm not even trying to be even accurate at this point. It's just to keep them pinned in. It's pinning in this game. In World War I, in fact, you don't even need to hit your targets. There's so much strategy involved because there's a lot of good other players who are making moves. Combat is so fluid that, I mean, you're going to get hits anyway, but to me, it's not about kills. It's about winning the objectives and playing strategy. I'm occupying in the minds. Oh, I see that artillery tank. I'm occupying in the minds of about 32 players right now, and it's a tough job. Oh, he got me. See, now that guy's a good player. It was the rocket truck who did that. And he blew up my whistle.
Over there, an enemy tank.
He's hammering me in. Okay, let's go. How many of them are over here? Takes a while for that shell to get there, but that rocket truck is going to be the death of me if I don't deal with him.
Over there is enemy cavalry.
Give him a little shave and a haircut.
I can see a tank.
That horseman might actually finish me off too. So those grenades that he just launched, they only did 2 points of damage. About every, oh no, more than that actually, about 4 points of damage.
Protecting the objective. Let's get going.
Hopefully they're listening, and it's time to get out.
Come on, let's go.
Because that rocket truck is still on me. I see him on the track. I'm really just punishing them for not killing them fast enough. In a behemoth, and I don't know why they're not, because you get like 1,000 points, you get many ribbons. It's just, you gotta take it out. I know it's a team effort and these things are just gigantic and intimidating, but I mean, just learning to kill them faster just makes it so much easier and cleans them out of the round. Then they never come back and you never... I actually kind of wish that you didn't always get a behemoth, which is what the game does. But usually, more often than not, if the team is losing bad enough, you're always going to be guaranteed one, and, you know, it is what it is. It's fun. As you can see, it's very overpowered, and I've got, like, a whole crew of guys who are just annihilating on the board. Like, I think Bancroft is with me. Oh, no, it's Cole Dude right now, so it's just us two. One last shot. Dead. So, good for him. He gets the points. And I'm done talking, but I'm going to keep playing. I love you guys.
Quitting. Boston. Here we go. Come on, Cole. Run. Capture the objective. Gunner. Easy. Boston. Over. Come on, Cole. Enemy cavalry,
Sentry kit
over
is
there.
available near your location.
Run now. Prove it. Run.
Ah, the gas. As you can tell, I'm not exactly as aggressive with the horse either. You see, being aggressive, out of turn in this game, especially like when you roll up in battle, can get you in a lot of trouble, can get you killed. So because you become a high priority target on horse, so you can do a lot of damage. And I find that the best horse riders are the ones who probably neutralize the tank targets right away, and then just silently remain in the back, providing cover, sniper fire, and supplies. You're the best. As the horseman, you are the best. And it was so easy to rank up high as a horseman. In my opinion, it's just Mountain Blade mixed with Battlefield. I don't like the way that graphics does that, though. I'm watching that, and that is kind of a problem. I'm recognizing that the way that it post-processes is difficult. But anyway, as I was saying, yeah, I couldn't just say enough good things about the horse. It's so much fun. And all kinds of useful. I wonder if it's the sharpening. Let's see if that helps. Yeah, you see, it's the soft shadows in the game with the trees and stuff, because it's a shifting shadow. I gotta admit that its contrast is not very high at all, though. Like, it actually should probably be a little bit more. Let's see if I can sniper it in before the round ends. And it's something to do with my video card, so just hang tight with me just for a second. I know it's obviously bad timing, but I think that we lost the battle anyway. Brightness. Gamma. Oh, it might have been the gamma. Okay. Oh, now he's shooting me. Alright. Okay. So, shadows are looking a little bit better. Let's see. This says for full screen auto, yeah. So this is for now all. Yes. Digital vibrance. 100%. And let's see how that looks. Oh boy. I'm gonna find out next map. So basically the reason why, I mean, geez, when you put it that way, Giant Shadow or Argonne Forest, it's all very much the same maps. There's two arrangements of maps in Battlefield 1 generally, although unless it's a Navy map, unless you got that back. They're either blobs of clusters of conquest, or they're just like hoagie rolls, and both these maps are hoagie rolls. One of them's got planes and tanks, and the other one's just infantry, so I would have rather take the infantry. These hoagie roll maps are boring to me, quite frankly. They don't lead to a lot of what makes Battlefield. If anything, I'm just kind of playing to the class, which is like playing to a job. So I'm barely even focusing on the enemy, and just putting all of my priority into staying alive, and keeping my friends alive as well. It's in war. The guy with the cigarettes and the bullets, man, he's a good friend. And the med pack and the bandages, I think he's a good friend to have. Let's show you the plane. Alright, so everything looks good. Digital vibrance is up. Can't see anything, as expected. Don't worry, I play War Thunder. So, how many people I got on my squad? It's cool, I got a few people. Birds and stuff in the game. Very cool effects. Wow. Most of the map's pretty familiar to me, so. Yeah, I suppose I'm a bit too good. Yeah, played a lot of Battlefield. Ooh, I'm pro. No, I'm not nearly as good as like the tempered hardcore players. I just like to fly, and in video games I have a lot of fun doing it. So I mean, if you really like the way that it all looks and stuff, I could easily teach. Actually, I could be happy, in fact, to show people how to play these games, even just by these simple walkthroughs and things that I'm showing, to increase just the fun of it. I feel like it's an educational event to play video games. I know it sounds ridiculous, but it's when you think about it actively, that's when it becomes a whole different game. It's like playing chess now, and I'm playing with other players, and we don't know each other. It's very hand-in-glove maneuvers. It's really, really fun. I find it quite engaging, but it's a kind of a game within a game that, you know, most players just feed into, in fact. They don't even really realize that it's like, it just comes down to a few clutch moments. I dropped the flare and the bombs, but the husk of the balloon is doing a lot to cover for my attacks, so this is basically pointless. If anything, we gotta bail out over at A.
We have taken objective Duff.
And hopefully he'll get the message. Oh, I'm gonna bail out. If he wants to take the bird, by all means, my friend. Hopefully he does. Oh, yeah, I don't know if he got the message in time, or if he was even a good pilot. I hope he lived. No, I don't think
We
he
have
did.
lost objective Duff.
Or tried. So that wasn't really a good maneuver of me. It's always obviously good to leave some kind of indication that you're about to do something. Like the digital violence is like, but yeah. So I'm really trying to get this as realistic as possible. I know it's super foggy. You know, you gotta love when Battlefield likes to.
First aid, use it.
Oh God. Randolph's cool with it. Randolph's a cool guy. They took F. Uh-oh. You know what that means. The back cap. It's, you know, obviously if you're going to play the hoagie role Battlefield, the back cap is the way you win. It's easy. It's not necessarily easy, but it's the cheapest way to distract a not so seasoned team into making bad decisions. And I mean, I can already see that some guys had to come back for F. No doubt there's some dudes lurking, hiding in the train yards or in the houses, effectively waiting for us to leave so they can go back in. It's very smart. It's just good teamwork, actually. These people aren't really in it for the points. They're in it for the win. So, I mean, these are all things that happen in a real battlefield. It's dynamic. Just like Goofy Balls. Goofy Balls is a dynamic individual, man. He's basically capable of anything. Using the MP18, which is probably one of the best guns in the game, he certainly is. Now, let's see how everything looks. Still so bright. Like, okay, the vibrance is like, whoa. Yeah, let's turn that down to 50. Hi.
First aid, take it.
We have lost objective Duff.
Okay, well that's... If it weren't for this blasted fog, you know? Jeez Louise. Let's turn on the brightness in the game. Okay, I feel like it's something else. It's gamma. I know it's the fog right now, though. It certainly is also fog. But it just feels like something's so off. Yeah, I turned that off. I didn't like the way that looked. Field of view is on. Brightness is still just like... Yeah, I don't know. It just doesn't seem right. It looks a little better. The bolt on the gun looks so artificial. Yeah, the brightness there. See, I can see how it's gonna look. Brightness boost. That's looking a bit better. Contrast up. It's looking like it's gamma. I mean, almost. Yeah, because with gamma, the difference between gamma and regular brightness is gamma is just like an aerial, or rather like an atmospheric light. Brightness is like an actual flat bright, like it actually increases, like you can see brighter in the black images of things, whereas gamma is like it tries to maintain visual clarity while increasing. It's I suppose maybe I'm just completely getting it wrong, but as you can see, it's like it's a softer kind of, whereas this is like the whole. So gamma is trying to keep the application looking good. Whoa. Okay, so this is where I was also kind of looking, right? Like the color of things really jumps up with the digital vibrance. It can lead to some really awesome looking effects. So too real? That's certainly a bright light. Right? Okay. Oh yeah. No. Where's the sun? It's actually going down. Whoa. Yeah. Well, when the sun starts going down, it doesn't exactly stay bright, eh?
You see, one of their soldiers.
So, the back camp that they've used. This is all, by the way, like I'm paying attention to the game while I'm in absence, so to speak, because I'm always observing the flow of the battle. It's very amusing to me, and I put a lot of like these. Oh, I see. I got a back on her. Like I'd like to see how teams coordinate and how they work together with no support at all. It's very educational. Oh no, mines. So. But yeah, I could see that back camp that they effectively used at the beginning, where they went to F, distracted all of us, including myself, long enough to take all the bases that we'd gained at the beginning. And anyone who plays this map, which many of us do a lot, when you take Rupture, when you take the high ground, the map gets decided relatively fast. It's just a war of attrition. Again, it comes back down to 17th century tactics. Even though we've got machine guns and basically rocket launchers, it doesn't matter. It becomes just increasingly more and more difficult to flush the enemy from the high ground. And I mean, you know, I do, like, I can barely see anything, I know. But I suppose I gotta turn up the brightness of the game. Like, I suppose it's maybe too real. Well, that's a bit more suitable. I can actually see where I'm going. Okay, so a crazy rider like me, Ghost Rider. They call me Ghost Rider because I die a lot. Switch it up a bit. Some snipers, some scouts, just like, what is this guy even doing? Oh my god. But you know what? I'm giving myself time to recharge. I know that seems ridiculous. It's absolutely what I'm doing. And it worked. It worked. I'm gonna go inside. Get those doors closed. It's stable after all. Oh, they'll definitely come smoke me out. I like the way this all looks. This looks much better to me. Much more realistic contrast. I think it looks amazing. This game can look so incredible in its graphics. Hey, it's just such a piece of art. I think that the Battlefield 5 looks is amazing in a lot of ways as well. This game is such a piece. It's just so beautiful at times. I hate to admit it because it's war, but it can just be so unbelievably artistically looking, so beautiful. Just the textures and everything just so epic, so truly epic. Oh, I'm trying to savor him. He savored me with a broken bottle. Oh, I deserved it. I deserved it for getting so close and not on my horse. Okay, so that was a glorious distraction, but as you can see, even that perhaps mild effort, maybe I give myself too much credit. I think I might be a little bit self-absorbed. What did you think of my gameplay? No, that couldn't be me. But they did take D. The team seemed to have taken D, whether it was by coincidence or anything else. I'll take it.
We are not going to lose the objective.
Alright, those flares ought to help. The bombs won't exactly get through. Oh, you gotta be careful with the clipping of the terrain got him. Yeah, I think it looks amazing.
We have lost objective.
I'm bailing. Good night, my friend. And I'm dead. I'm actually dead now. I didn't mean to do that. There's another plane. Yeah, I'll go with the fighter again. Oh, he didn't bail out. Well, I'm probably the most annoying teammate in this point, but I'm just trying to at least try and get some action going, some stir in the back. As you can see, I've attracted some attention, but that sniper knows that I am a threat. I am a danger. I am the worst enemy of his life. And, oh, you best believe that was for you. Yes, gooey. Yeah, how are you doing, buds? Shall we?
Halfway there, the enemy has the upper hand.
Not too sure what that even was. I'm pretty sure that was a player. Hi.
We've lost objective
You're beautiful.
Charlie.
You're beautiful too. I'd never really noticed this beautiful artwork before. Just sneak out this way. I noticed that, oh god. I noticed I got another flare. I don't know where that came from. Oh no, the house is coming down all over me. And there you go. We're marksman's. Deadly rifle. Probably the best sniper rifle, I think, is one of the best. That in the Russian 1989. The lads are doing a great job. Everyone on the team seems to be putting up a good, hard team effort now. So let's go check in on D.
Objective must be
No. Let's get aggressive here. Let's go for C. Everyone's doing a great job. I see the push is real, and the comeback is real too. We probably have the pest boys to thank for that. Oh, and TSCN, you know, keeping it real. Grr. Texas Tigers here. I don't know any of these individuals. Shout out on my stream. We're just battlefielders in a battle world, man. It's crazy. What is this guy doing all the way back here? I think he's sleeping. A guy like this, if he stays alive, he can do a lot of annoying damage. Ah. Well, now I might be next.
Taken objective Charlie.
Oh god, those snipers are all over. So I actually got, now how it works is I got that guy killed. You might not know it. I totally did. I brought that sniper's aim to him, or at least I know I'm probably thinking about it a bit too much. More than likely. It's just that they're following you in a laser aim, and that's exactly how it would work. They would find the next target, and they would just take a target of opportunity. So, as a horse rider, you're also supposed to be a rodeo clown. You're supposed to ride away from the infantry. You have protection, they don't. You have extra armor, they don't. So, I mean, to be a better horse rider is to be more of a distraction. And I like to throw grenades, by the way. Throwing grenades gets a lot of infantry moving quickly, and it's very fast. It's a great, again, it's another great suppression effect. And suppression is awesome in World War I. It's very important. Oh, a bomber came in. Well, hey, you pays your money, you takes your chances. Airship busters. I'm going in. They need medics.
We have lost objective Charlie.
He's calling my name.
That's objective. Capture.
So somebody's trying to long shot me, as that shell indicated. The rapport, as they call it. He's got a back gunner as well. The plan is to get in a sniper shot. He thinks he's won. He thinks he's got me. All I need is one, and now he's wounded. You see, I'm not exactly out to kill. They think it's always a duel and we're always battling and stuff. It is, but I'm trying to stay alive for the homies and do nefarious things to keep them from winning. They got me. Now I just basically wait until I... Or I survive. And I just spot my way out of this. Pretty cool graphics, huh? I wonder which game's more like detailed, this or War Thunder at times. It's hard for me to see the difference. I enjoy them both. The trees in War Thunder, a million times better. Like the distance trees, I kind of used to be pretty finicky about how their draw distance was. They put so much more effort into it from the plane, from the ground's perspective. The destructible terrain of it. Battlefield has destructible terrain, but I mean, War Thunder gives you all that plus gravy. It's so nice. Oh, by the way, I'm not a ground to support plane. A little bit confused there. Never stops, you know. Always got to keep those spots for your boys. I probably chosen the most useless plane for ground roll. You can rock it. The suppression effect is extreme. He's aiming at me. The suppression effect is very low in rocket form. Or when you're using rockets.
Watch out, soldier!
And the gun is actually weaker than the airship, than the ground support, but more accurate. As I'm sure you noticed. See, I mean, those are some pretty direct hits, but it's not going to do much. I'm just a plane. I'm just really just a great distraction, which I don't mind at all. I'm helping. I really am helping. You have to believe basically everything that you're doing in a battle situation, you're doing to help your teammates. Always keep that in mind. Keep hope, keep faith, believe in the light, man. Believe that you can win, and anything's possible in battle. It's just it's where miracles are made. Try not to be, you know, as vicious as they all claim you are. If anything, just survive. See, now that guy's going into the base. That's good. Perfect. Just survive. Just survive. The Red Baron was a pretty fearful guy, I hear. I bet you he was pretty nice to me. Alright, nice. So, spotting some guys. This guy over here, he thinks he's he's just a little ninja. Hey, who are you? I said, who are you? Oh, I just got myself killed. No, I didn't. Now I did. Yeah, I was being silly there. I tried to hit him. Okay, I'm on my favorite gun.
That soldier's one of theirs.
Yes, this is the long train, by the way. It's got the A caboose now, plus another machine gun. Very, very helpful. Makes the train just ungodly. It's so good. It's very good.
You see him?
And I
One of their
mean,
soldiers.
it breaks the camp.
Spotted a soldier.
It breaks the camp. You gotta break the camp, and the train breaks the camp.
Over there's an enemy shock trooper. Sighted! An enemy soldier! I can see one of their soldiers.
I think the train caboose, the caboose or the conductor might be. What would be his name? What do you call a conductor? Train conductor? Anyway, yeah, he might be panicking a little bit because he's getting his guns blown off. It seems like there's a rocket truck, more than likely, sniping the turrets off. And that's why somebody like me is going to do this, actually. I got to bail out of the train and make some space because he's just giving me an ample opportunity to take B. Awesome. Mighty great of you, train rider. But I don't exactly know what to call you. I don't know what your title is. Yeah, so now if he wants to come back in, you have to pay the Plague Marine costs. I'm the Plague Marine. TM. I used to have a Plague Marine army back in 40K. They were my favorite of all Space Marines. It was kind of because not only were they tough, it was like they were basically just killing machines. They were very expensive, but they were... God, you couldn't kill them. They were gaseous. They had great weapons. They were awesome in close range. They were just the best of the Chaos Space Marines. No relation to anything. I plan on making no money off Warhammer. Maybe perhaps besides playing Warhammer Total War 2, which I own, and a few other Warhammer 40,000 titles. See, now this guy, as you can see, like I said, only about 2 more bursts of other guns, and this guy's going to end up being firewood, so it's pretty much just deploy. No, I wanted to go up there. Oh, he's a good assault class. He patiently waits before he opens up, and then everyone's dead. I love him to pieces because I want more assault classes on my team. I always feel like I'm surrounded by medics and scouts, which is great, I guess. Great, yeah. They're not quite assault, though. I mean, they get some nice weapons. They get some good weapons. And I mean, I play my job. I try to, at least. I didn't exactly play it so well this round. To keep the team alive. I guess I'm more of a vehicles guy and a horse guy, but I'm certainly not a ranger. I push points. Maybe I get a little exhausted from it, but it's not easy either. It can be when you're the only guy doing it again and again. Probably some of the most daunting of the games, but I don't look at it as a grind. It's Battlefield. It's like fun with real players. We're all working together to take an objective, and you've never met each other. So it's like a game show. Every round is like a game show. It's really neat. It's Battlefield. I remember playing this back when it was 1942, guys. Yeah, I'm pretty old school. Okay, look at them all. They're breaking the hill. They're breaking the hill. Oh, I'm gonna give him a volley. Oh, I don't think I did enough. If I can keep alive for one more burst, that'd be good. Stay alive. Don't hit the train or the tree. The tree. Alright, one more. Let's go in.
Combat area.
The shell on this guy is huge.
Spotted a soldier.
Yeah, game over. Game over. No, not Fortress again. Problem with Prise de Terreur is that the French are little blue ninjas in the dark. And I noticed how dark my darks are. It's always GG's from Jiggly's. It's always GG's. Now I realize I've been kind of still doing a bit of a marathon here. I might even go back to War Thunder, my two favorite games, as you can tell, because the need for speed is starting to creep up on me. But I am also feeling a little bit tired. If you just joined me, thank you for coming to check out my stream. This is my holiday edition. It was supposed to be a marathon. Something got in the way. I had some family business to take care of, but I'd kind of come back to this whole situation where it's like the idea is the stream was going to keep going into the new year as I basically sample my various games, try out my microphone, and just give this whole online gaming thing a try. With a chill voice, it probably talks a little bit less. Maybe I'll start to get a little bit of popularity. Who knows, right? But it's really just all about the fans, all about the kids out there in the internet world who are looking for a place to chill and relax. Perhaps they're into a few cups of coffee, maybe they're done reading their books, or they're done studying. And they might not have the means to play these games, or really experience some of the high-intensity action that Battlefield can offer, or other games, like Red Storm Vietnam, or Rising Storm 2 Vietnam, or maybe Heroes and Generals, or Total War 2, Warhammer Total War 2, even Rome 2 Total War. I've got probably over 100 PC titles, and I'd be more than pleased to show all of you some of the best that I have to offer. But you know, it's really just a stream about just playing some games and having some good times, and seeing how many platforms are willing to basically just keep me on. It's all me. I'm not doing this for sponsors or anything. This is primarily more just science in motion. I'm trying to optimize a computer, make it so that I can do something, and recording it. No, that wasn't very good. And we're out. Alright, I'm gonna stop talking. I'm gonna keep playing.
We are losing objective Duff. We have taken objective Butter.
Okay, well, I'm back. No, that brightness is a little off. It's a little too dark. See, now I'm dead, but you wouldn't have seen the atmospheric darkness, because that light should have lit the whole room. If it was truly that bright, I mean, I don't know if you've modded a game like Skyrim, but you can see some pretty interesting light effects from different mods. And that was just a little bit too dark. Like that street lamp, that's more realistic, being that we're outside. It's the inner environments that it needs to kind of be congruent for me, or it looks like, in my opinion, kind of like a bad Skyrim mod. So, you know, if anything, I'm making the graphics as appealing to my own eyes as possible. And then we just take it from there. I noticed that the frames are now improved. I've got the frames to 60. It took a while to actually get kind of a stable build for that. I should check the CPU speed. Right after these messages. Oh boy, it's a telescopic. Oh, I know. Yeah, it's crazy. Oh, and he got me. And it's a man-dragon. Somebody was shooting me with a telescopic. Okay, so the PC is actually running pretty spectacularly. Turn up the digital vibrance? Oh no, what are you doing? Maybe turn down the contrast a little bit. Turn up the brightness. Oh, somebody's got me alive, okay. So it's probably more and more like late dusk now in the lighting, which looks to me, the inside lighting looks a little bit better. I can actually see down the halls, and it's candlelight, so you know that's what's going on. So it seems a bit more realistic. Notice that I'm not really necessarily panicking. I mean, it's just that I've seen so many brutal situations in Battlefield 1 that even the worst that Battlefield 5 has to offer is really just training compared to how lethal this game can get and how flexible you need to be to survive. Like, that's just it. It's like, just always be moving. If a circle, if you're surrounded, a zigzag, if they're shooting at you. Just keep drawing lines in the sand, man, with your feet. It's, oh wow, we're just smoking them. Okay, so I'm gonna switch squads, or switch teams. At least he has something to drive. Now, I don't mind being French. No. Oh, that's too bad. I definitely don't mind being French on this map. They get the advantage for their uniforms. I think most players by now, they turn up their contrast to counter-ride that, though. It's kind of a well-known secret that the French in Prees or on night maps are bloody near invincible. They're near invisible to see.
This one?
Things are looking pretty bad, but I try and stay calm in all situations. Play to your job, because I mean it's just about the whole team's got to help. There's only so much that one man can do. You gotta help the team get organized, and it's through the worst. You gotta help them through the worst. You can't blame them. I notice a lot of Battlefield players are always blaming the teammates. Well, you know what? The way I feel is that in the worst of situations, you have to work with them. That's just how you survive. That's how you survive, friend. It's called Battle Survive. It's not Battlefield. I talk too much. I apologize. I still love you. I hope you love me. And we don't need to be like super friends. But I hope you enjoy yourself here. If anything, that's what I want. I want people to enjoy themselves. And I mean, I'm not checking chat or anything. I don't even like to focus on that during the games at these points. It's mostly just about getting a good, stable build. Oh, pardon me. He's in the house. Couldn't see anything. Okay. Oh no, no. Ouch.
The enemy controls all objectives.
Wow. Yeah, their team is just out for blood. There's nothing you can do when I don't even call it team stacking. It's just that you got the more raunchiest of the players, I would call them, on the one side. It's just going to be it's a knife battle in a locker room. You know, it's not going to get any easier. It's going to get worse. So, fighting through the camps and beating the breaks and winning the little battles in Battlefield. You need to do. It's totally a part of the battle. It's all part of breaking through the camp. The camp is the slow encroaching encirclement of the enemy team, and it actually starts from their rangers, from the scouts and the medics. The people where they focus their angles is where the enemy starts firing back or dies. And you know, this is where the battle lines are drawn, is generally where the scout starts to aim his rifle. And as a medic, I can see that. And most people don't even think like me. I'm like a billion miles ahead of them. But it's also because I've been playing Battlefield since it came out back in 1942. No, I mean, geez. I think that was 2001 when Battlefield 1942 came out. Maybe 2003, actually. The first Battlefield, 1942. I've been slacking because this team, I'm not going to blame them. No, I mean, this team that I'm on, and that I didn't really do much. I tried to switch and stop the bleeding, but it helped stop the bleeding, but it was just too much. Yeah, close. Close indeed, Asbestos Wizard. Close indeed. We just gave up and didn't even want to try, and we're going back to Rupture again. Rupture's a good map. That's like real lighting though. It's like you're not exactly seeing faces. You know, they're in the night. It's in the evening. It's dark, and most of the stuff is candle powered. So the real test though is seeing how it looks in the day. If it looks neon-rific, then I think we got a problem. Considering popping in some War Thunder, just as an interesting effect of it. It's like looking at a different game after playing one game. You can just see how they change, what they do differently, and it's all an interesting affair. I'm gonna probably choose fighter plane, Yellow Circus. So they took a bomber. Where are you going? Hi guys. Don't mind me. I feel like this is the most realistic looking. Ooh, I got him really good with that fire. That second fire mode is your incendiary shells. And it's awesome. If you can target your shots, it's very, very powerful. Now, I'm trying to hit that guy and take him out of the skies because he's a fighter plane, which means he's deadly to my friend. I'm not giving him a chance to revive himself. He's probably going to bail. Planes in this game are more superior than Battlefield 5. Sue me. They really are, though. This is it. This is the cream of jet fighting. I know it's faster in Battlefield 5 and all that, and it's still a lot of fun. The bombers are cool, but I mean, like, this is just supreme control. The difference is so awesome. It's fun to play. It's just fun to learn to fly in this game, and it's fun to fly. I know it takes a lot. It might seem like I'm not even that good, but if anything, I'm always stable in control, even when I'm out of control. they're always trying to shoot you. And I mean, this guy, he's doing his part. He knows he's got to wait for a backup, or he's going to lead me to an AA nest of some kind as he quick revives and dances around me. Well, that was kind of my fault. Well, hey, there you go.
Un peu d'aide par ici!
Alright, so I'm trying to scale how bright things are supposed to be. Like, the sun is looking to be, I mean, over the hill. It's just, yeah, the brightness is off. It's still a little bit too dark. I think it's the gamma. Oh, yeah, it makes my whole desktop look all awful. All right. See that bolt on the gun. Like, does that look like a more realistic gun? It looks like a more realistic hand. Look at the fabric on the hand. It's like the most detail I've ever seen. And I can see like the sweaty palms on his... The gun is like, it looks so good, right? Digital vibrance is up. Shadows are pretty contrasty. Okay, I like.
Là, une trousse de secours!
That's an enemy.
Prends cette trousse de secours!
So we're all discovered now and available to their whole team, so... And he's dead.
Blessé? Je vais te soigner.
And he's dead. Okay, so they're up the slopes. Yeah, it was bad. Every one of them was coming, so... That's what happens when you see a flare. You get used to these things. It does take a bit of practice. But I mean, that's why a player like me is... I'm totally open with sharing a lot of my like more intimate tactics, I feel, in a game like Battlefield. It's not as nearly as mindless as it's presented to be. It's war, which is a terrible thing. And as soon as players start respecting the fact that you're playing a strategy game against more groups of players, it leads to more complicated scenarios and situations and some pretty epic battles, especially when it comes to behemoths. Really, really fun turnarounds, just glorious moments in the sun. I mean, it's what Battlefield's all about, guys. Come on, what are we here for, right? Are we here to play Battlefield? I'm here to have fun. So he comes up with a gas mask, and he's at a bunker. The Frenchman, I mean, or the enemy. Oh shit. Oh, pardon my language. Oh, I hope I didn't get my friend killed. I probably did, though. Frames are looking good. I'm watching on a small screen here, and it's looking all right. Okay, I'll try out the tank this time. I actually don't like to drive these things very much, but I do like to gun. Those poppies are amazingly rad.
We have a behemoth.
Even the idea that they sent men into these situations in real life is unbelievable. That these brave souls could put so much into effectively fighting for mounds of Earth, like D-Base. I mean, and the thing is that as soon as the shooting starts, it almost all just, it starts to go automatic. It's so terrible. Because there's nearly no time to think. If this were truly real, like, there'd be so much carnage that every sense would be overloaded with pain and suffering. And I mean, this is real life. You had to make complicated decisions with people you generally don't know in a wartime scenario. Oh, God. And war is truly awful. It's no game. You know, it just so happens that I suppose some of us are better at it than others.
Halfway there, the enemy has the upper hand.
But it still comes down to not necessarily quickness. That's second. Which one's first again? What's the number one skill? It's ingenuity and survival. Well, ingenuity first. Survival first. Hey, you gotta survive. Ingenuity second. Quickness third. Maybe that's a bit too complicated, but ingenuity has to factor in somewhere. Survival, obviously, I think is kind of a byproduct. Playing to a class actually has you survive, as long as you just play it right and you kind of stay out of the way. You just give your boys some supplies and stuff. Yeah, it's a really great way to make a lot of points, and you're usually next to a medic too. Somebody's battle charging. So we got the one behemoth in the battlefield. It's this gigantic, like, oh boy, let's go. It's a gigantic tank. Oh, shib. Let's go. Oh man, that tank, he was busy with something. Oh cool, that driver's getting all kinds of kills. Or the gunner. I mean, yeah, we're gonna take E-base. Drive right through the friggin' doors. We're parked. Alright. It's not gonna get any easier. Oh wow, that's beautiful. Oh, and I didn't make it. What we have here is a behemoth driver who's really playing it smart, camping on C, and basically being the biggest target on the battlefield. He's doing good. This thing's got more armor than it knows what to do with, and generally not nearly enough speed, so he's playing good position. He's playing good football right now. As long as he gets spots, we get kills. I hope that everything's looking good from your end here. I'm gonna check on the video card. We're doing decent at a balmy 70.
We have lost
Time to bail. Oh, just over the ridge is bad news. Bears. It wasn't exactly time to bail when I said it was time to bail, but that's okay. It's okay. I mean, even though the points are pretty disparaging, you can still do a lot of damage on the back camp. A lot of players are effectively, like, when you're playing against armies or squads of players who don't necessarily play with each other. They're not exactly organized in the rear camp. So I mean, and I'm a player who's always played mindful of the back camp and what's going on in the battlefield. So I'm like the counter unit. I'm like the counter insurgency unit. And even though it wasn't very successful, we certainly put up more of a fight than nobody there. You know, this guy is, he's the squad support one. The squad support tank. So, yeah, I think that's, I don't know what that house is at the top, but it gives me a little bit extra protection to hang on to. As long as you can center your reticule on the friends, you can throw ammunition packs. It's not wise to stay up here. Yeah, I gotta get inside. If you're ever, so I lay on the tank actually not just as some convenient cover, but actually to jump into when I'm wounded. It's also part of the distract and delay tactic. It's very much like in war, it's a quality tactic. In social situations, it's annoying and repetitive, and it just leads to humility or to humorous situations. Sorry, man. And you know, and you can meet a lot of people who basically like distract and delay is just distract and delay. There's nothing good going on because they ain't got nothing good to sell, and it's just distract. And anyway, I mean, I'm just talking about like, you know, you could meet people at work or political people or people who you don't like necessarily. And ultimately, that's just the name of the game. They might not have any agenda at all, just to mess around with you. It's like prison politics. And anyway, when you fight war, or when you're fighting in the war type scenario, all these social scenarios are actually going on, but in a latent sense. We're not talking to each other, but we're all using ESP to do it. And I mean, ESP is very real because nobody wants to die from a bullet. And as some 17th century smart ace said, the bullet is a mad thing. It's just like a man, capable of anything. Cyber botter. Oh, I think he's being facetious. I think he's pretending to be a bot, while actually real bots are running amok. But he's pretending. Right? He must be. Guess what? Who's throwing smoke grenades? See ya! You got it, man. Oh, that was a heavy anti-tank plane. They get used to these ones. Something that does that much damage, that's either a lucky rocket shot or that's an anti-tank plane. But that's why I suck. I see on this, in my opinion, the number 4 position, like, you gotta be engineer for this one. It's just so naturally, you can spot from up here, you're laying down artillery sieges, you're dropping friggin' gas grenades. I'm shooting out the window. I've killed pilots like hanging out the window, for crying out loud. It's just hilarious how much trouble you can get in. And all you're doing is just trying to keep a bomber crew alive. Like, man, if World War II was bad, come back to World War I and try and do this, dude. It's horrifying. 2 AA guns open up on you and like you're dead in 2 seconds. Sometimes the pilot bails out because it's hopeless and it's like a full plane and there's still guys inside. And so you have to try and steer your way. That's just horrible. Like World War I bomber is probably the oh, it's worse than an American Civil War submarine, I tell you. Speaking of which, I think I'm going in. Where did that gas grenade land? See, I'm curious because as I came in. Couldn't quite see. I mean, it's not accurate at all, but it's something that I get used to. Ah, yes. Okay, he's getting beat up pretty bad. If I can get in and spawn on him, I get the spawn and to heal. It's more ideal. Oh, and he's still in the game. I love you, fam.
C'est parti. On y va.
We have lost objective
Nice.
Alpha.
Oh, he's going off the board. Uh-oh. 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 See ya. Well, that wasn't supposed to happen. Yarg. Squad sergeant doesn't want to be squad sergeant as much as I don't want to be squad sergeant. Well, then generally that means that someone's got to be squad sergeant. It's kind of how the game rules or the game works. Because, I mean, why not be top squad when you're in a squad when you can be top squad? So I mean, again, I play against a lot of players in Battlefield, and you play against a lot of players in every round, and I don't encounter a lot of individuals that put, I think, a lot of really contemplative thought into their actions in this game. They play, and they might not like Battlefield actually for that reason. They might think that it's a bit too open-ended. Like there's just too many ways to die. It's a sniper fest, stuff like that. It's all positioning, man. Like, look at me. I'm testament to that. It's all positioning. Snipers will tell you that. San Quentin Scar, please. Oh yeah, that's one of my favorite maps. It's got the ballroom. Or no, that's actually ballroom that has the ballroom. So there you go. Our squad didn't actually order much. We still can't think about this. We were still like we were the best blue squad on that list, and no one was ordering anything. Like, it feels like if I don't try and organize a defense and become general every game, and it's just so exhausting because no one's asking you to do it. But in war, a commander, a single voice to respond, quite simply, because that's all I do actually as a commander. Really, all I do is respond to just threats. Not exactly this ingenious commander, but it's like I am like, oh, that's a plane, it needs to be blown up, or oh, that tank is actually about to take, and I always feel like it's me and like one or two homies, and it's just like we just bull charge the pack. And you know, we're waiting on the homies, and there's a lot of players who are just new to the game, and that's cool. Players like that are essential for Battlefield. Look at that, my dude is like out of the plane. Glitch. That pilot is so stunty. He's so stunty, man. He's like, I need full optimized. Think about how cool that would be, hey? Like, wouldn't that, oh my god. And you're like operating the plane from you're just getting a face full of bugs.
That's an enemy medic.
Alright, I'll take it.
Capture the objective.
These bombers, yeah.
I can see one of their soldiers.
Uh-huh. I'm not too sure what this bug's all about. I've never really seen the pilot out of the plane like that. Oh, he got shot. That's what happens when you bail. You can't really use your parachute up too high. Your parachute will just turn you into a big target and a sniper target, and it's never fun. It's never fun to get sniped. Take an E-base, Let's see if we can take C-base. C-base is... Alright. So I don't like to bail out from planes like that. That's a generally way. It's just look a little bit bugged, and I'm a bit more useful outside of a fighter plane. The fighter plane's very specialized. So he's wasting his rounds. You gonna keep advancing? Oh, he wasn't wasting anything. He was upset, and he's coming in with C96. Oh, excellent handgun. That thing's got like 16 rounds of pow-pow. Basically better than some main guns in this game. They're going, you know, my squad is pretty good on it. I appreciate their effort, dude. It's just that C is risky, guys. Let's try and switch out to D. They'll spawn on me soon enough anyway. How many guys we got? So I'm looking at the blue bar. I look at the blue bar at the top. That means that we're even keel. There are equal amount of players on the map. Now they've got a numerical advantage by about 5 or something, because it switched about. How many times did the blue bar change? It changed about 5 times. Yeah, that's not good. That means not good. Ow. Hitting guys. Oh, I'm a plague marine. Oh, but he was a shotgun. Shotguns. They're fun to use in this game. I should probably try one out soon. Or even try a new class. But hey, let's try a back gunner. Let's show you guys what this one's all about. So it's always good to get those spots out, right? And it's now in Battlefield 1, there's a lot of weather and adverse effects, so get your spots in early. And choose the upgrade that allows you 25% longer spot time. Well, that was a waste. Stream looks great. I mean, I think the atmospheric effects just like, yeah, this game's so powerful, so beautiful. Who, what was?
Run now. Protect the objective.
We have taken objective Charlie.
How you guys doing? D? Let's take D. Okay. C was easy. C doesn't actually look like it's actually under attack. And they're moving from B to D. And I mean, these are all just the battles in my head, you know. You're trying to imagine, you know, how is the enemy effectively getting their reinforcements? How are they covering their reinforcements? Like, because no one wants to be shot. There's just a lot of fundamentals about modern combat that haven't changed since World War I. And it's just like, you know, we're all actually just looking to mostly survive. Most sane warriors are looking to survive and do as much damage as possible. It's a team effort. Oh no, those things are absolutely terrible. Oh god. It's alright. Even doing a decent amount of damage to those things is useful, because they're so painfully terrible. Black cloud cover, which isn't as important in this situation. But perhaps not. I think that reduces my spotting, but that's okay. I mean, I'm a plane. They'll see me. Oh, I didn't drop the bombs. Dang. Somebody shoot at me.
Enemy soldier.
Something going on over here. Oh, they just blew up my friendlies. See if we can spot them. That texture problem I can see is still kind of happening. Now that looks like once you get a certain distance, I feel like this game might have been updated or something, or perhaps my video card might need an update. There seems to be a few architectural
I'm looking right at
issues
an enemy soldier.
that normally weren't there. Squad is not following them, Jack. Whoa, that was not planned. I wasn't even looking. I don't know if he was looking. Yeah, like right there. War Thunder kind of has the same effect. That's a video card issue, I believe. It's a NVIDIA card. Perhaps I'm running it a bit too hot. How's it doing? It's much cooler than War Thunder. And I had War Thunder as optimized as I could. I thought at 60 frames a second at the quality I had, it was pretty stellar. Spoken stellar. Just happy to be able to bring content to you guys. And so far the stream's up and running good. Oh, holy man. Who's shooting at me like that? Oh, just play distraction now. Look at me, I'm a big rodeo clown. Bring it back to the AA gun. Bring back to the AA gun for some team kills. No, get into the other view. Get into the other view. Oh, he's still on me. Yeah, I gotta actually deal with this. Oh, there's a plane. The plane helped me. Oh boy. Oh, it's alright. It's alright. He was in a fighter jet. So yeah, there's something a bit up with the graphics. They're loading in a bit funny styles. So let's see what we can do to fix that. Oh, it seems to have crashed altogether. I'm actually gonna probably... No, I don't want to terminate the stream, but I'm gonna have to check on my graphics card to make sure that it's completely optimized. I want to be able to keep bringing the best content out to the game. So I'm gonna actually close out, probably take a wee bit break, and I'll probably end up streaming in a short while. I thank y'all if you come to just check me out. Tune in, check out what was going on, what was cooking today with some Battlefield 1. Maybe I'll do a little bit of War Thunder in a small while, but I'm going to go back to the video card and back to the drawing board, so to speak. I'm trying to make it so it's a seamless picture at all, and that the fade-in effect, the post-processing effect that you might not see or notice, but I notice, it's getting kind of, it's just still there, it's still lingering. So thanks for tuning in. Black screen out, pitch out, bye.